Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Gay2k, the podcast for nostalgic millennial queers. I'm Sarah, and today I'll be joined by John Paul to talk about the 1990 gay rom-com Trick today. John Paul, do you remember the first time you saw Trick?
Oh, the first time I saw Trick was definitely high school. I can think back to his senior year, and it was with my second high school boyfriend at the time. Yeah, I had boyfriends in high school, multiple. But no, it's just definitely one of those times when it's like, oh, let's go to Blockbuster, let's get the gayest movie we could find, and this was definitely the one that stood out because it was the two cute gay guys, which was very rare at the time.
Yeah. And that's so funny that you mentioned that boyfriend because I absolutely remember sitting with that boyfriend and looking up all of the gay films that have ever existed. As you know, this boyfriend of yours was perhaps younger and they didn't know gay culture, right? So I got to be the gay mama bear for the first of, I don't know, many times throughout the rest of my life, at least a dozen times. And I remember Trick being on the list of movies that we were going to watch together, but that is not what happened because apparently you guys rented it from Blockbuster and didn't watch it with me, which is fine.
Oh
I
my
saw it.
gosh.
I saw it later.
I
Um,
didn't know this was part of the plan. I didn't know.
oh, the movie Trick. Let's go back to Blockbuster. Like, what do you remember about the cover of the movie when you walk past the aisle on Blockbuster?
I mean, it was two cute gay guys. Oh, I have the DVD upstairs I can show you. But yeah, no, it's just New York City skyline because definitely at this time I was in my New York era. You know, I'm leaving this small town. I'm going to New York City, and oh look, there's this movie, and I learned that one of the actors' name is John Paul. So I was like, what the? Uh, so this was definitely very. I felt very serendipitous, very much like this is our story, babe. It's me and you. So we definitely like went in like with that vibe.
That's adorable. Um, So the movie Trick stars Christian Campbell, who is Nev Campbell's little brother,
Oh
and
my
has
gosh.
the
Is it?
most adorable little dimples ever.
Oh, please. Can you like I wish I could do that. No, definitely one of my first crushes, which is weird to say because I'm like, oh no, actually Christian Campbell. Because he was also in Reefer Madness. So around this time he was eating up me personally. Uh so just and then like I think discovering like, oh, this man is so beautiful. And then learning that like, oh, Nev Campbell's brother, like just iconic family. Definitely,
Yeah.
I want to
Nev
marry
Campbell
into that family if I could.
Nev Campbell definitely has a adorable cameo in the Reefer Madness film, which is a parody of anti-marijuana propaganda films. It's wild. That could be a whole other we could dive into Reefer Madness at another time.
That'll be on the musical stream on the Patreon, so just make sure you follow that. No.
And then the other star is John Paul Picote. Is that how you would
Patak.
Pitok?
Hmm.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it was, yeah, I think it was credited at JP maybe at this, but that definitely as someone whose name is John Paul, I go by JP. I appreciate someone who I see out there switching back and forth, because yeah, sometimes it's more friendly to be JP, but my mom calls me John Paul, so I'm like, well, that's my name. So
mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've seen that. I mean, even in high school, you were what just depending on the audience, using either your JP
honestly,
or John Paul.
it's if I feel threatened that you think that I'm like I'm John Paul and JP, I'm both of them. There's yeah.
Oh man. And so then with those two guys, there's also Tori Spelling. Yes, that Tori Spelling of 90210 fame and nepotism as her main source of talent. Uh,
Tori is never coming on this pod now. She's like,
no, okay, fair. Okay, like I love Tori Spelling as a person, and honestly, there was this show in the 2000s called So Notorious. It was on VH1. It had Zachary Quinto as like her gay BFF before Zachary Quinto was out. And it is so self-aware and so funny because it's just her making fun of the fact that she's Tori Spelling.
oh yeah,
She's literally
absolutely.
playing herself and it's spot on. And that I respect her for that. And and there are moments where she definitely does have some great acting moments throughout her whole career.
Like Scary Movie 1, which I watched the other night, and I was like, what? Like, it's just weird how when you
Yes.
go back to this era, you're gonna see the same recurring characters in the same movies. But like,
Mhm.
I rewatched Trick, and then the next movie I watched was Scary Movie, and the fact I was like, I'm just connecting the dots. Here we go. This is a Tori Spelling podcast now.
That's so
Uh,
funny because she's in Scream as the movies get on, they get like more meta. And
uh-huh.
she's in the movie Stab, which is the film that's set about the Woodsboro murders in the yeah, basically Tori Spelling was everywhere in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Hmm.
After 90210, she said that's going to be my platform. I'm just going to go be me, right? Like I'm going to use all this fame and just go do whatever I want and have fun. And I think I mean, that's what she's doing in Trick. Like you can absolutely
Yeah, no, and her performance is amazing, if you ask me, and she
tell.
should have won the Oscar.
What? That is such a hot take, John Paul.
I'm
Okay.
starting them here. I'm starting again. Tori Spelling podcast is gonna get her the Tori Spelling Oscar.
Hmm. That's so funny. And the director of no director writer no director Jim Fall. The director Jim Fall then goes on after this movie to direct the Lizzie McGuire movie, which I don't know if you can get more Y2K than the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Not my
So,
Y2K. I think definitely like Lizzie McGuire is definitely the thing that I think I missed out on personally.
mhm.
Like that's when I was like, I'm graduating. I'm watching Trick now, and I'm again going to
Yeah.
college. I'm only reading French philosophy. I don't have time for y'all. So Lizzie McGuire, I'm like, oh, little kids.
That's
Oh,
so funny. Our college paths are so different. I regressed when I hit college. I started listening to like stupid pop music. I started watching, Alex and I made an appointment to go sit down and watch High School Musical shortly after it
oh
aired.
my
Like we locked down
gosh.
the lounge. Like I really, because I think I spent so much, and it's not because I listened to indie music, I was depressed. It's not that. It's just that like I had associated my depression so much with that indie music era of my life that like when I
Mhm.
got to college, I was like, I'm happy. I'm so happy. I'm gonna
Yeah,
party and
yeah.
drink all the time.
Well,
That's
you also had friends, and I think that's the I didn't like
yeah.
I went to a
Mhm.
place where I didn't connect with people, and I had like that isolation. So yeah, no, you did the right thing. So
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that. But Lizzie McGuire was a big thing, mostly because my second year I was living off campus, we didn't have cable, and one of the roommates was obsessed with the Lizzie McGuire movie, and it would regularly just be on the like communal TV that we shared in the living
oh
room.
wow.
Yeah, that's probably um,
Speaking of drag queens, you forgot Miss Coco Peru.
yeah. That scene, I was like watching it and I was like, how do I know this person? How? I didn't then at all. I do now because I think I follow Coco on Instagram and
Hmm.
I've seen like various other skits and stuff that they've been in since. And then I looked and
Yeah.
they were in Tu Wong Fu, which we just did on this pod as just like
Oh yeah.
one of the queens in the like opening contest. She was there. So
She's a legend, and for me this is I think she was like the first official drag queen on film that like I remember seeing and resonating with and being like, oh, this is New York City drag queen and she's throwing shade. And
it's so
just
good. That
her
monologue is so good.
her
Um,
mug is iconic. And so just knowing that that like raised me just makes me feel really good.
mhm. And that makes sense too because RuPaul was like RuPaul was existing. We knew of RuPaul growing up, but it was also just like very much like a comedian caricature of everything, mostly because of the Brady Bunch movie. I think seeing the Brady Bunch movie early and her being the counselor in the second Brady Bunch movie really kind of like caught me off guard for RuPaul to be able to be serious or be taken seriously in any
Yeah, no, yeah.
way for
Like,
a
well,
while.
I didn't
Like,
think, yeah. Well, I also didn't think, I wasn't like, oh, RuPaul is a drag queen. I'm like, RuPaul is RuPaul. RuPaul likes to dress like that. RuPaul plays whoever she wants, you know? So
yeah,
it
that's
was
true.
like, it
RuPaul
was
is an icon outside
RuPaul,
of
it is
yeah.
RuPaul's Drag Race because I think for, me anyways, that RuPaul was Madonna. She was Cher. Like,
Hmm.
and I don't like, why do we have to question it? Like, why do we just accept it? Why do we have to like, I think as like a culture try to like tear her down? Like, no, she's RuPaul. Leave her alone. That's
Yeah, just let her do whatever she
my
wants.
other hot take.
She's a comedian one week in the Brady Bunch movie. She's a drag icon the next week. Why not? Yeah,
And
you're
she's
right.
and she's fracking also. So you have to, if you bring up RuPaul, you have to mention that.
What?
No, I'm not breaking the news to you. RuPaul fracks. Gosh, we're canceled now if we talk about
Like,
this.
no, wait, I mean, it doesn't have to make the.
I think it'd be funny if it did, but no, I think that's,
I
yeah,
need
one
to
of
be
the,
educated. What she, like, personally has her own fracking mines? Like, what are we?
she goes out to the fields and she fracks for fun. No, she like her land that she owns fracks on. So yeah, no.
Oh.
RuPaul personally is not. What is fracking? Shoving water into rocks. She's not shoving water into rocks.
Yeah, it's like taking a water drill, right? And then, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no.
I don't know what fracking is, but I'm disappointed to learn that information, although I still don't really understand what it is she's doing. I associate it with negative things.
Well, just if you, I'm just doing my due diligence,
Man,
letting
look
people
at this.
know.
We are not even 10 minutes into this podcast, and I've brought up nepo babies, and now we're bringing up fracking.
Oh
Like,
God,
oh
no!
man,
It's our
this was
website
supposed.
all.
This
It's our
is our
website all over
episode.
again.
This is the episode about a rom com. We don't need to be talking
Okay.
about politics.
Well,
Oh
those are just
no.
the people, the actors who make this work are iconic, are tastemakers, movers and shakers, influencers, and yeah, no, like just this orbit, this universe. Yeah, let's.
Early in the film, we see that Christian is a writer. It's established because he's getting ready to go to present his song at this workshop. And his best friend, Catherine, played by, did I call him Christian? Christian is the actor's name. Gabriel is the character's name. So Gabriel and his best friend Catherine are getting ready to go present this, and they have a little bit about how he didn't even finish the lyrics or something.
Hmm.
And so then he gets up there to perform piano while she sings the song, and John Paul, she sings an entire song. It's not like they do a little bit and intercut it. Like,
Hmm.
it's no, like Tori Spelling has a whole, what is it, like probably 2.5 minutes of
Uh-huh.
performance. And
I don't, yeah. And so let me set the scene even more. What I really appreciate about this is, so you have the character of Gabe, and he's very, fastidious. He's like all buttoned up, and he's doesn't like look gay. You wouldn't like it's a cute little twink for sure. But and so he's just like, I just got my music. I just want to be a writer, and she sings the songs for me. And so then you have Catherine, and she's like, so like she's Tori Spelling, and then she's like got her little crop top, and she's got some fluffy things on, and she's just serving attitude. And yeah, she has a whole musical number. And what I liked, and what like I think what the humor that I found in this is like, yeah, no, she keeps going, and she even like does like a tap number, like, and so
yes.
and so for me, it really sets the stage of like, oh, in this world, she is the star. Gabe is second fiddle. He's not like progressing.
Mm-hmm.
He's not gay. Like he is, but he's like not living like his gay
Mm-hmm.
truth. And what he's doing is just, I think falling into this traditional role of fag to hag, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, definitely this whole scene is setting the stage about just like their relationship dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it established it's so well. And like Catherine is acting her heart out to this group of writers who, like, it's not an audition for her. It's not anything. It's literally just a workshop for writers, but she's hoping that
Hmm.
maybe if Christian's genius doesn't go through, maybe one of the others will, and they'll like use her, right? Like she's using
Yeah,
it to
yeah.
pitch herself to then be able to be used by them.
I didn't get that. I think as a kid, that's like part of the confusing storyline for me is just like I don't know, I know stories about him, but like, oh wait, like just isn't her audition. What is this is a workshop? Like, okay, so then she has like, so yeah, it's very theater heavy and definitely living in
Mm-hmm.
this theater world of just like, you go to these gigs, you go to workshops, and all you do is just live this fabulous gay New York City lifestyle that I wanted to be in.
Mm-hmm. And then so at the end of that song is called Enter You, and um, it's missing pieces. The whole thing is
Mm,
about how it's not complete. At the end of the workshop, his friend,
Harry.
his fr- at the end of the workshop, his friend Perry stands up and is like, basically like, but would you sing it? Like if you were to,
Yeah.
fall in love, like, this is the best kiss you've ever had. Like, would you sing it? And Christian, his, oh my God, I'm gonna keep calling him. So Perry asked that question, and Gabriel's face instantly, you can tell he's so confused. He doesn't even understand the concept of the question because all of it is just foreign to him, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
just like, I'm just writing songs about these things, and why wouldn't they sing these things? Because
Yeah. He's very like I don't know, I felt like theoretical, just like, well, if person A does B, then the C happens, you know?
yes.
Uh and I think I definitely related to that, you know. That's why like a good gay film gives you a journey, right? And so I think really setting the stage for like, yeah, this guy doesn't know what love is. I'd be like, well, wait, guess what? He's gonna find out in this movie. And so that's really what got me excited. It was just like, you're right. This older gay man, this gay elder, he is correct. You know what love is, and this one of the advice that I really appreciated was like just get to the chorus, like because Gabe is
Yes.
very much like I think there was a stage. Like he's setting up this very
Yeah.
theatrical world, and it's that's a bop. Enter you, like I'll be singing it by the end. So we'll
Hmm.
because the song comes back. So it's like you get the Tori
Yes.
Spelling version, and then you do get the Christian Campbell version.
Yeah. So then after he has this workshop, he makes his way down to, and this is all one day. Like, okay, so I'm gonna have to like I struggle with this because the morning this is the workshop is happening early morning-ish, probably midday, um, sometime in the daytime.
Mm.
And then sometime after that, but not nighttime yet, he goes to a gay bar. And, it's New York. So, of course, there's go go dancers on gay bars at all times of day because why wouldn't there be? And
In
certainly,
1999, I think so.
yeah. And if not, like, how I wouldn't have known different. Like,
Mm.
it sold me on that fact. Like, yeah, sure. Go go dancers on the bar any hour of the day. So he goes to the bar, and Gabriel is like just instantly a little cute eye candy and getting hit on right away by some guy who's not holding his attention because he is staring at Mark, who is dancing to a boss ass remix of Gary Wright's Dream Reaper.
Oh, Dreamweaver. This is like the sexiest scene in cinema. Like I will screen cap it for the audience. But like you just get a whole bottom to top body shot of John Paul Patak and just his stare, the way he looks into the camera. He does this multiple times throughout the film. Or like this is when I knew I was gay because like I am melting. Like oh like
Yeah, it's a
what?
nice little confirmation. It's not just about your high school boyfriends, it's about dudes.
Yeah. Well
Yeah.
like it's just and I think it's understanding then like just sexuality and just how like a look can really make you feel something and he's this actor's really good at that, so I think that casting was great because I think they could have casted just anybody, but I think they really needed to get someone's who has like just the eyes.
Hmm. Right. And yeah, I mean, for whatever shortcomings, whatever else you might say about the film or how you might critique it, like that, yeah, the castings in terms of like these people fit the character arc that they're playing is dead on. Like, yeah, Christian Campbell with his little all the way buttoned up polos, which by the way, that blue stripy one, I was like, did John Paul have that polo? Like, I was staring at it the whole time. I was like,
Probably, yeah.
John Paul had a polo that was a little too big for his frame and was buttoned pretty close to all the way up. Yep.
No,
Like,
yeah, no, I had my rugby
mm-hmm,
era also. Like that was, yeah.
mm-hmm.
No, yeah, this definitely I think influenced. Well, actually, no, I think I influenced it because I didn't watch it until like late. Actually, I'm
I
gonna
think
correct the timeline.
I think unfortunately some tropes are true, and I think whether or not it's a young man in New York or a 16-year-old boy, there's something to be said about the armor of an oversized polo that's buttoned up, right? I mean,
Oh,
that's really
absolutely. I wrote a whole
that's
essay about this, I thought. Uh, and so, yeah, no, that's when I'm like, no, being gay is universal because it is about, just your orientation to those around you, and we all experience it, you know.
hmm. Yeah, so
Back to the club, Dreamweaver. Like, can we just like play that? Do we have the
yeah,
rights to that?
absolutely. We don't have the rights to it. We can get away with a little bit of a fair use. So go ahead.
Okay. I was like,
Okay.
well, let me. I was like,
Well,
I
let's
want to
see.
cue it up to the big. This is it. Sorry, is this annoying? Oh my God.
No, you're okay. I mean, oh,
We get one more. I
oh, so good.
so like it's not on Spotify. You have to like go to YouTube for that, and I will probably download it for myself. Um, but no, just sometimes it's just the right club track can really just blow your mind and expand your ways of thinking.
Hmm.
So give it up for Aaron Hamilton.
I love everything about that track, and also because for me, like I don't know what gay bars are playing right now. Usually, when I do go, it's like more like contemporary stuff. But in the early 2000s, and I don't know if it's because like the owners were mostly men that were older, but there was so much like 80s remixes. There was this killer remix that has stayed with me forever that I can still like hum the melody to of Alison Cooper's Poison that I heard in a gay bar that was a dance remix and it was like sexy as shit. And I just like I have some formative memories related to that.
Absolutely.
And it's just like these songs that like where it's weird because it's like they're like echoes of your childhood in a way, right? And then they're like
Mhm.
remixed and made gay. And it's just
Oh yeah, no, it's like
amazing.
oh, absolutely. I think it's a good like yeah, taking this thread of like what's familiar and then making it like Technicolor and like, oh,
Hmm.
this it feels like the rainbow, but it feels like home at the same time.
Oh man. That's awesome. So he's at the bar and he's like, I I fucking this guy the whole time. And it's hot and there's a chemistry and like, you can play it off as like maybe Mark doesn't notice Christian really, and maybe he does this thing with everybody. Or you can see it for what it really is that he's vibing with Christian instantly. There's a connection there. And whether or not
Mm,
he can acknowledge that connection in the moment, he can't because he's at work and all of that, right? So then
mm. Got to keep it professional.
after the bar, Gabriel, I'm going to call him Christian 100 times. After the bar, Gabriel takes the subway home and he spots Mark coming in basically slow motion. I don't know if that was actually filmed in slow motion or if he's just moving very slowly, but it definitely seems like he sits down in slow motion and starts to snooze while lounging very seductively.
Oh my goodness, he has man spreading.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just to make a commentary on the shoes in this, he's wearing like this like chunky leather like slide sandal type thing, and I just remember hating it and be like, "What the fuck are you wearing? You're in New York. You're like walking in the city. Like get some sambas on or something." And then Christian or Gabe, if you notice, his footwear, he has lifts like his heels are huge on his sneakers. There's a couple scenes because they wanted them to be more similar in height. And
Mm,
so my hot takes on this are the shoes are terrible. But that's one thing I definitely did notice. But then he opened his eyes and I forgot all about his shoes, and I was like, oh, well,
mhm.
those shoes, what, babe, they can stay.
Yeah. I also the old lady like randomly like first of all, Christian isn't even leering. He's like glancing, right? And I
Mm.
mean bigoted people are gonna be bigoted people, but she like notices him casually
Oh yeah.
glancing and mean mugs him for looking at this sleeping, obviously attractive man. And it's just like, lady, don't project your lusty thoughts onto this boy. Like you're not wrong, but you can't tell that just by how he's.
But I think that that was homophobia in the 90s. I think even like you could get in trouble just if we think of it. If you we think you're gay, like that was still
Yes,
part of that, like,
absolutely.
and that's why I was like, I was really hard to get close to other guys because I was like, I'm not like people would assume like they can make a lot of assumptions about your intentions based on what they think about you. So, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Still true, but yeah, way scarier in the 90s. And we talked about that in the other pod, right? Like the narrative that we grew up with of
Hmm.
anything gay would relate to violence for men. So, yeah, that plays right into this.
Yeah, so
Like,
fuck that lady on the
yeah,
subway. Get out of here.
bigoted lady on a subway.
She
Eh,
died right after the movie ended. She's gone. Just it's over.
I
Anyways,
hope that lady's not dead for real. I mean, no, the character is dead. Okay, never mind. It's
the
fine.
character. It's
The
we're in a fantasy
character.
world. We're in New York City, 1999.
So, yeah, if you want to talk about how then
Oh, so
Gabe gets off, yeah.
well, that's the point. No one gets off, okay? So what happens next is they end up talking and deciding, want to go back to my place. Uh so the next thing that I just remember is them going back to Gabe's apartment, and we find out that he lives with a straight roommate, and yeah, for some reason, like if you're straight, you get your way. And so like he has a girl over, and so like wait, so I'm kind of jumping ahead because
Oh,
they go back
before
twice.
that. Yeah, the first time they go back to the apartment, Catherine is there printing 500 resumes, but they do, before they even get there, Gabriel says to Mark, like, oh, I think my roommate's out till 5. I promised him the apartment for the rest of like the evening or whatever. And so like Mark responds like, well, what are we gonna do with those 2 hours or like whatever.
Right, right, right.
And then yes, and then they get into the apartment thinking
Daisy
they're gonna
Department.
have 2 hours, and Catherine is sitting there printing 500 resumes and not
Off
take.
of like one of those, what are like the fax printers? Like
Yes,
that to me was like, this is definitely the 90s because now
with
those were
the
way better.
paper that's like a stack and it's all connected through the little like hole ribbons on the side. And so then after she would print it, she would have to take all of those off individually. And I'm sure she was going to, before he forced her out the door with her copies, actually just sit there and take off each
Oh yeah.
strand from each paper.
Oh no, and it was 150 copies also. So like,
Mm.
yeah, she's this is serious theater world. But no, she definitely is, again, like it's her apartment. Hey babe, you're home, just using the printer. Oh, this is your friend? Just like being like, and I think this character definitely doesn't know that she's being extra, doesn't know that she's intruding. Like she is so
Mm-hmm.
like naive that like she, why would she leave? Mark, it's me, like
Mm-hmm.
oh, you boys do what you want. I don't care. I'll look over here. Like, that's just
Yeah.
like she would, but no, it's like she's not picking up on that. And like I think he's
Oh.
trying to like exercise his boundaries. But
Right. And then like asserting her dominance by being like, I have cute nicknames that Gabe gave me, and like he calls you puss. That's weird. But
I
aside
don't
from that, it's even weirder that you want to bring it up to this boy that he just met and he just met. So like, come on. Like, what are you doing other than trying to be like, I'm this important to him? Like,
yeah, no, but like that's her truth. That's her reality. I think like
mhm.
they hadn't progressed as people enough to see a life without each other. And so like, yeah, bring him to my play. So like, even And I think they could be like, oh, this is just a trick. They're just, hooking up. But no, it's real. Like you're gonna get married now. Like I think there's this like expectation, like
Hmm.
versus like reality sometimes, like, I don't know.
Right. Well, and that goes back to like the cultural expectations too, like of what, yeah, like how straight people date, or not even all straight people, but how straight people in Catherine's world date, right? Is like it's a date. And so then of course, like, why wouldn't you take your new boyfriend to your friend's show? Like that's her, like you said, that's her reality. That's the thing
Hmm.
that she's going to try and see. And we see the opposite of that with his straight roommate who shows up a little bit later, right? Who is having lots of sex. And this person that he brings in the second time, because we do see his roommate earlier with a different girl, this person he brings in this time is his girlfriend that was in Paris. And he therefore is like, oh no, like I told you this was going to happen. Like I'm here early, so you need to get out because I said I needed it for the night, even though he said he needed it later and not then. Anyways, yeah, because
Straight
like you
people are
said,
the problem.
straight people are the problem and they think that they get priority for whatever reason.
Well, I think even
Um,
just in the storytelling, I think what like, we talk about this, theme of being cock blocked, and I think there was probably some, homophobic cock blocking happening with, what the studio could do, how they could promote this movie, like it was, I think this was like a labor of love and a cult classic, and it does a really great job of creating, I think, a gay rom-com. Um, but just it's the only one. It's like there's really nothing like this else. It's very like I feel of these absent narratives in a way where it's just like, oh yeah, this is very much a very niche experience. And so we really don't need to make a bunch of these movies, you know.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's
So
that.
they, so we're
Yeah.
just cock blocked as society from getting more of these,
That's it. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the thesis. John Paul nailed it.
Yeah.
We're done here.
We're done.
Um,
Wrap it up. Uh,
but then I mean that's a good point. But then also, right, like they do show that the cock blocking isn't just outside of the community. They go to meet Perry, the friend that we mentioned earlier, at the piano bar, and Perry's like, yeah, absolutely. That guy's hot. Let's go get you laid. And then when they're walking down the street, oh my God, can we talk about the song that Perry sings? I don't even remember most of it, but it was so weird.
yeah, it
Um,
was like, I should know, two pinche, like, let me look it up. Because it's on the official Trick soundtrack.
I think it's a good juxtapose to what he critiques that um oh, you can
Como,
say that I like your penis if
yeah,
you say it
como,
in Spanish.
como te gusta mi pinga. Yeah.
Which is yeah, like he says like basically at the beginning of the when Perry is there in the writer's workshop, he says to Gabriel like your song's not really about anything. It's just kind of just like you said, like it's theoretical. And then we see Perry singing not a song that he wrote, but a song at the piano bar, which is like direct to the point. It is specifically about
Mm.
how you can get away with telling somebody you like their penis, if in this case, if you use the Spanish language to divert the expectation, right? Like,
Oh yeah, no, I think this is just a whole great exercise on just writing, kind of taking that idea of a good pop song is something that is immediate, it's deliverable. It is, yeah, it's subversive. It's not what you would expect to hear. And so I like, just going back to like the enter you of it all. At what point do they is that because yeah, they go back and forth to his apartment, but when Mark gets Gabe to sing like while he's giving him head underneath the
oh, that,
piano.
yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
so back, Catherine leaves before the roommate comes back in. They do get a little bit of alone time. They are sitting on um Gabriel. No, Gabriel says, maybe I'll just play a little something to unwind. And he's playing, and then behind him, Mark is getting undressed, and then he starts to undress Christian, and Christian's says that he's always had a fantasy about getting a blowjob while being at a piano, which I don't get. As a woman, I don't like I understand like the concept, but also like doing any type of task while something is happening sexually is like just hilarious to me as a concept and like uncomfortable, especially under a piano, like because they're not. I mean, they literally do such a good job of explaining why this fantasy is just that a fantasy and not something that's deliverable in reality because there's just simply not space for anybody to really move around under most pianos. Maybe if it was a baby grand and there was a
Yeah.
little bit more space to work with underneath, right? But his little piano
Oh
there is
yeah.
just
No, I just like that's just part of the humor because Mark is so like willing and able and you can see just how Gabe is kind of just really detached from his sexuality to where like oh,
mm-hmm.
let me do something else so that I can focus and you can do this. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think you really kind of just see how he becomes sexually liberated through their night together, even just like the smallest of ways where it's like, oh no, you can't even be present sexually. You're creating this like really uncomfortable scenario. But
Mm-hmm.
Mark's he's a good old trick. He's gonna get under that piano and not like out of like, just because he's a good time guy. And I think that's part of it. It's
Yeah,
just
for
like,
sure.
oh, like there is just joy and fun to have with being gay, and it's not that deep sometimes. Sometimes people are just having fun.
Yeah. And so that scene, yeah, that scene happens before the roommate shows up and then kicks them out, or they flip a coin in the bathroom with the roommate to determine whatever. Anyways, then they
Oh, forget
go
that
and
roommate. Like, don't even. He's not like he is a like his character can go. Like, just we're not even gonna talk about him.
no. Um yeah, so they go to see Perry. Perry sings the song, and then they're walking back to Perry's place, and Perry's like kind of hesitant about like the logistics of it all. Like, what, I'm gonna like leave you guys at my place for 2 hours, but like absolutely also like all in on getting his friend laid. Like he's like, yeah, we're gonna make this happen, but the logistics are weird. And
Hmm.
then they run into Perry's ex, right? And that's where even gay politics can be cock blockers sometimes, right? Like
Yeah.
your best friend is trying to help you out, but then they have their own drama going on, and running into the ex means that they want to reconnect and hash out, and even that option is then closed for Gabe and Mark. So
Well, then Mark, like, he kind of
yes.
picks up on the vibe and he pretends to be Perry's new boyfriend just to make the old boyfriend jealous. And, uh, but then you can see Perry, like, misses his ex. And so then they, like, drop the charade and they, like,
Mm-hmm.
reconnect. And I think watching this now as, a 38-year-old who's married,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my God, it's me and my husband. Oh my God, like, that's true love. Like, I just so like watching it again, I'm like, oh no, I'm Perry now. Oh
That's
wow.
hilarious, John Paul. I
Yeah.
literally was like, I get Perry. Like I
Yeah.
absolutely get Perry. Like everything that Perry says, like when he's listening to the musical, I'm like, yeah, like that, yeah, good advice. And when he's like, just cut to the chorus, like you don't need all that, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we're the older gays now, and that's okay.
No, it's great. Like, no, Perry's awesome. Like, I love my husband, so like I'm glad that
Mhm.
like in the whatever universe that I would be living this life in New York, that like me and my man were gonna make it work. So
Mhm. And so then after they get, do they go back to his apartment a second time before they go to the bar?
I have that they go
Mhm.
to the bar because this is
Oh,
where
right. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
uh
Suggest after it doesn't work out with Perry's apartment, Mark suggests that he maybe knows a place that they could go, and he takes them to. Is it the same bar that he go dances at? Do you
yeah,
think?
I think it's pretty much it's the same place. Like that's
Yeah.
if it's
Um,
not, go watch the movie.
yeah. And then we see one of those walls of Gabriel's coming down again, right? And that
Mm,
dance, he's reluctant. Everybody there is topless, and all the guys are dancing and whatever. And yeah, Gabriel, who has an excellent body,
oh my
is
God.
very, very reluctant to take his shirt off.
Like,
And
just like this movie definitely does not help with your body dysmorphia because it's, he's wearing like these really baggy clothes the entire movie. And so you would expect like an average body, right? Like one that you like, it's me. Like he takes his clothes off, he's ripped, and it's just like
right,
1% body
right.
fat. And so it's
Yeah,
like,
like, yeah, dude,
oh
like
yeah, yeah, okay.
what are
Like,
you like, yeah, right? Like if this guy is feeling
but
bad about his body,
yeah,
how
like
what chance does anybody else have? Yeah, sorry, I just got a flashback to when I was talking with Sindhu about the L word and how like they'd always talk about how hot Shane is and how like lack of confidence everybody else had, but like they're all smoking hotties. Like the Y2K narrative of what body image was and
oh my
how much
God.
shame there was on any body fat is
Oh yeah, no, it really just shapes your perception of how, like for me, it's like, how do I operate this vehicle? Like I see people doing that one, but I don't look like that one. And just how that is all a lie.
mm-hmm.
And it's sort of like, actually, no, like we can be, yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
Definitely good job. And he again, Christian Campbell shows us Hot Little Bot Off in Reefer Madness. So he knows what he is doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, in Reefer Madness, there's like a he's only covered by leaves scene.
Oh yeah. Oh
Gosh.
yeah, no, he did a lot of
Ay, ay, ay.
he put me through it in high school. I just really like, how dare you? Anyways, this is also where Miss Coco Peru, like, she has a number. That this is the other like standout track. I Am Woman. Like, she is owning the stage, and so it really kind of set for me that expectation of what queer nightlife could be and is and should, where it's like, yeah, you're fully liberated, you're dancing with your man, and then there is a drag queen doing a number in the middle of the club,
Just
and
walking
walking
around,
around like that's
hyping
like,
everybody up, and yeah,
and so like even
and also
when,
mean mugging you. But that's just a point of the story.
oh,
But
that's
you
Miss
know
Coco
what?
Peru.
Yes, I'm so like when that was happening, like I had forgotten that I had remembered a lot of things rewatching Trick just now, like or this week. Sorry, microphone. I remembered a lot of things, but I didn't actually remember like what she actually says. Like that entire thing is so iconic. The mean mugging, the following him into the bathroom afterwards, just iconic. And I just like I
Oh
can't
yeah.
just I can't even put it into words because it is just like the smallest moment in the show really like in terms of like everybody else's character but it like owns and then it's the catalyst for like the story is going one way and there are obstacles but like the train's still moving right they still have this
uh,
goal they're still going and then at the bar Mark and Gabriel get stared at by Miss Coco Peru and Gabriel's like that's weird and then she goes into the bathroom with him.
oh yeah, no, like, and with the internet being internet, I did pull up this scene because I think
Okay.
it's just a great monologue, and what I really like, Gabe is there trying to go to the bathroom, and he's even like, "Can you stand over there?" And she's like in his space, and she goes, "A little pee shy," and
Mm-hmm.
so she's here to kind of just tell about Mark, and she's like, "So as a truth seeker, I feel it's my duty to tell you that Mark is a no good fucking piece of rat shit. Don't get me wrong, he's handsome, he's charming, huge penis, huge penis." Oh, believe me, Gabriel, I know, I know. And so she just kind of goes into about like this, story, and she goes, it was 2 years ago on Gay Pride Day. I was on the train going home from the festivities, and he was sitting across from me, sleeping. But he wasn't really sleeping. Oh no. He was pretending to sleep because he looks like an angel when he's sleeping, and not the Antichrist he really is. Like I said, no, he is beautiful on this train. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Uh
and Gabriel hearing just that part too, you can see Gabriel's wheels turning because he's like, "Oh shit, he did look like an angel while he was asleep." Like you can see Gabriel
yeah.
clicking. Yeah, keep going.
Oh yeah, so no, just the whole like so Coco is really kind of just like telling, Gabe like the same night, like, oh, I met him on the train. We were trying to find some place to go. Uh I'm trying to think where else should I jump on this monologue. Let's see. she goes, "This is it. This is the man I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. I'd be the one to show him the virtues of a loving heart." But you know what he did? He took that heart, he tossed it on the floor, and with his little Satan hooves, he jumped. He jumped hard. The truth is, Gabriel, when we got back to my apartment, he grabbed me and threw me on the bed. He tore off all my clothes, and then someone tries to break in. So like she is just really going in. Um, so she's like, okay, I forgot. Where was I? She goes, all right. So I'm licking his balls, and the next thing I know, he comes in my eye, and he's out the door. You ever get cum in your eye, Gabriel? It burns. So just this ridiculous story. Uh, and so she goes, so there I was, laying in the middle of my bed, completely naked, with an eye full of cum, thinking to myself, oh hell no. And then the next day, when I called the number he'd given me earlier, it was the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens. And would you believe they never even heard of a Mark Miranda? So, like, yeah,
Yes.
this is excellent. Thank
Uh,
you. Thank you to the writers of Trick. Thank you for giving us a story, letting us see we're like so. Of course, Chris Gabe is uh freaked out by this because he doesn't want that. He's not looking for just a trick. He wants to, if he's gonna be this gay person, I think that's he wants to like get to know someone more and actually invest in someone. So thank you for my letting me do my interpretation of Miss Coco Peru's iconic speech.
that was amazing. Yeah, and that moment is just, yeah, like you can see all of the wheels shifting. And then the second that he walks out of the bathroom where he's had this exchange with Coco, he sees Mark hanging, or he sees a guy hanging all over Mark, and it appears that the guy is kissing him. And so Gabriel bolts out of there, and Mark follows him. They wind up back at Gabriel's apartment, um, with the straight roommate and his his girlfriend who recently went to France and is enlightened in many ways.
Yeah, what was her name again?
God,
I
that
forgot.
scene is, I don't even know. That scene is so funny though, because she is like just talking about how open France is, and the sheet that she's wearing across her chest just slips, and then she's just sitting there with her tits out and smoking and keeps talking
Uh,
about
Judy, yeah. So character
Judy.
Judy. And it's definitely like for me, I felt was one of those things of the 90s where it's like, okay, if you're gonna have a gay sitcom, you need 5 minutes of bare breasts from a woman. You need to have like if we're gonna sell this movie, you need to give tits. Because I was like, why? Like it's funny because she's just like, oh yeah, well in France the women just have their shirts off, and
And
she even like
everybody is bisexual in France. Just
and so she's playing this, really insightful character, and I think, you know, giving straight people, for me, giving straight people that like moment to breathe. I feel where it's like, oh, here's
mm-hmm.
straight people, and they're like, don't
Right.
worry, the
It's the
straight
moment.
people are having sex, they're naked, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and so, but yeah, definitely, I was like, if I was to revive this, I would cut these characters just because I don't think they're necessary, like.
Yeah, I mean they're necessary for a straight audience. I think genuinely straight people, especially in the 90s, who would have watched this with gay friends or whomever. I think that moment of like this straight woman who is also very sexually awakened, sexually woke,
Mhm.
um, is is not just okay with them being gay, hugely a fan of normalizing sex and more sex in general. And
Mhm.
yes, her tits are hanging out, and I suppose that makes it more palatable for straight men to want to listen to her. That's what it was. The director was like, okay, this is the scene that if we're gonna change hearts and minds and we're gonna get straight people to listen to this message,
Yeah.
they have to be
Mhm.
paying attention. How do we do that? Tits.
Oh yeah, and I think just even like you have this woman facilitating the convo of these two gay men because I think they don't have the words to just have this open, honest conversation. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
let's have a topless woman help do that, which is a good writing mechanic, but I think also just kind of just says a lot about the time and who was able to. Again, you're right. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna come if it's through this lens, we're gonna really be able to sell the message.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
And
Judy then leaves topless. That's my favorite part.
mm-hmm.
Like, And because one the boyfriend is like, Judy, your sheet. He keeps talking about her sheet. I thought that was funny. And then and he's like, put him away. And so she's like, I don't tell me to put these away. I'm leaving. And she just walks out of the apartment topless. That was funny.
Hmm.
So yeah, good humor.
But Mark and Gabriel don't patch things up in that moment. They make a lot of progress. Mark says like explains that what was going on with Coco was actually that he saw that Coco was recording or filming in some way their sexual encounter, and that's what, despite whatever she said, that's what was actually going on. That's why he fled and gave the fake number and all of those things, right?
Mm.
Um, but Gabriel is still like just floored by how um, how much Mark has experienced compared to him. It's funny, we just recently on this podcast, we just recently did Chasing Amy, and we talked about how the entire crux of Chasing Amy comes down to Holden feeling like he's sexually incompetent compared to this person that he met. And while like these movies kind of parallel in that way, like that was a common reason to break up with somebody in the 90s. And
Mm.
I think that that held true. Sexual inexperience being comparable, you know, being on the same page as your lover is something that still carries on in relationships, right? Like that's definitely
Mm.
like something that's going to always be a point of conversation. So but that like for Gabriel in those brief moments while he's like thinking about what's happening, he he's, you know, Mark's gone and he's missing out on this opportunity and he's getting a little sad, but also, you know, he just doesn't feel like he's there in some way. And then he's kind of given up, but then he finds Mark's keys and he's like,
Mm.
"Oh, okay. I gotta take this shot while I have it," right? Like um
Yeah, no, so like I think he meets him at the subway station, gets him the keys, and then Mark like is just like, we're done, walking away, and then Gabe, are you hungry? And then Mark comes back up the stairs. So it's like, yes, they're back on, like they're gonna like just take it easy. They're gonna go get something to eat. Cut two. They're you just go, the next scene is just the two of them like sitting in a booth, like side by side, and then you hear Tori Spelling just going on again about
and
herself.
they're surrounded by, and the shot is Tori Spelling is right next to Gabriel, but all around them is like her, or like part of her small little theater troupe. So they're in this booth that's probably like designed comfortably for like four people to sit around, and there's six of them crammed in there. They're all touching skin, right? As they're talking, and as nobody can get a word in edgewise because Catherine, Tori Spelling, is just like, "Oh, I'm so glad you didn't come tonight because we were kind of off and talking about everything."
Oh, so what I love about it is just like so she goes into this long another monologue about like oh god, it's like talking about some guy who eats shit. And so she's just going on the story. She's like, and so this guy who's like, he's gonna, yeah, eat shit. And so like they put some shit in front of him, and guess what? He ate the shit. He ate the shit, Mark. Can you believe that, Mark? He ate shit. Like she just keeps going on about. I need to find that story, but it's just this. It's like like 17 poems about shit. Something like it's just gross, and it's just kind of just like, yeah, you all you do is talk about shit, Catherine. All you do, and so like it really kind of like wakes Mark up to that, like, oh no, this woman is just she's monopolizing the conversation, and so he loses it
mm-hmm.
and talks about like, no one wants to talk about this. You've monopolized the conversation, and
The
she
only
complete.
person that wants to hear you talk is your gay lover or whatever he says
uh,
about
and then of course she takes that really personally and feels offended and attacked. And I love her friends, and because I just it's like, yep, she's with her New York City theys and thems. They're all like, she has a little queer crew. Like
mm-hmm.
even if they didn't like identify as queer, I was like, oh no, y'all, this is what you would call queer, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so like they're like, I just love that they take her side. They're like, Mark, you're terrible. You know, it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, stand up for your queen, you know? But so yeah, then that like she has a freak out. And I think this dynamic is she is not just Mark's like best friend, she's his girlfriend. Like they
Gabe, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Gabriel,
Gabe. Yeah.
yeah.
So like that's where like they're kind of like realizing that like, oh no,
Yeah.
she thinks I'm just more than like, we're the relationship means so much to her.
Mhm. Well, yeah, I don't know if it was in this scene or the other scene, but she was like, "Yeah, my mom was sure that we would get married, blah 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 blah." Like, yeah, multiple times she's like cemented herself as this permanent fixture in his life, and he seems to be Gabriel seems to be like just like used to that. And then I think like in that moment when he has his own people and she has not just him that has to put up with this or wants to put up with this, she has her own flock, right? And Gabriel's just like, what the fuck? Like, I can just be here and be alone with this person that I'm
Mm.
here to be with. Because you have all of these people. You have this girl who's clearly in love with you. Like, what the fuck is that? You have these other friends. Like, what are we doing here, homie?
Mm.
Like what is this friendship? And then she like storms out, and then they have a conversation outside where he like reverts back to the nickname, and like ultimately he just concedes in that conversation outside, and she's like, so you'll be there tomorrow or whatever at the end. My favorite exchange in this whole thing is like after she blows up and is upset, one of the other theater queers is like, oh yeah, you owe me $4 for the fries. Like,
Keeping it real.
yeah,
Venmo me.
I was like, oh shit, yeah, 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 she does. Like, it just like, how many times do you think she's stormed out of a restaurant in the middle of a meal with her theater friends, and they're just like, I guess Catherine's gonna owe me for the fries again.
Yeah, no, no,
Like,
yeah, because it's like we accept you for being so crazy, but you owe us $4, and I think that's just like real friends,
yeah, for sure. They're there. They're ready to just move on and go about whatever. They don't even it's just keeping it real, like you said.
Yeah, and I just, I can definitely relate to just, because they're like creative partners. Like they like make art together. He writes songs that she sings, and I think I have a lot of women in my life that are my creative partners. And when you, have creative relationships, it does get to be like, well, you're my everything. It's just like actually, they're, what are these boundaries and how can we continue to show up for each other in authentic ways. But I've, oh man, I have so many Catherines in my life. Like, love them all at my wives' clubs, but there are definitely some who are like, well, I'm the first wife, like,
I mean, yeah, I don't have that many Catherines. I don't know.
I think you'd be a
No.
different, you're a different analog. There's what you think, yeah, what would that
Yeah,
relationship be? I don't
I don't
know.
know. Yeah, no, it's always different. The relationship between straight woman, the fag hag, as you called it earlier,
Uh,
there is like this. It is different. It is different than like lesbian gay men relationships. It's very different than lesbian straight women relationships. It's different than straight men and lesbian relationships. Um, because there is like this like I don't know. It's not even like a thing that like you speak, but it is like this like the outside world perceives you as a couple more often. The um
yeah,
like those kinds of things happen over and over and over again when you are a, a gay man with your best friend. And I mean, obviously it happens so much. There's one of the most successful sitcoms of all time, Will and Grace happened, right? Like
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. No, because I think it's like there's certain like those heteronormative privileges that like these duos that like uh can use to advantage or like it, just makes like things easier in the relationship. But I think there's also the element of competition because it's, I've definitely like have not competed, but like definitely been like, oh, like we both have kissed this man. Well, that's a dynamic that like, you know,
whoa, yeah,
you know,
that's fun, I guess. I
it's
don't
it
know.
is it's very it is one of those fun dynamics, but definitely been those scenarios where it's like, oh, this man's two-timing both of us, Gay. It's so gay.
Wow.
But
Um,
yeah, no, so like yeah, this is a nice little kind of end cap of this relationship that then you kind of like just come to love their chaoticness of it and um Yeah, don't
Yeah,
she
and
leaves.
also like yeah, they have a fight and you know that they're going to be fine. And it's not that she didn't understand why he was upset. She did. It just ultimately wasn't a big deal to her. Like she's just like, I heard you. Okay, come to my show tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, who knows what continues to happen with the relationship and how many more throughout his relationship with not just Mark, but like whomever, right? How many more times that's going to happen. But in that moment, she does hear him and she does accept him and she's fine and they're able to walk away and he's able to have the very little rest of the time that he has with Mark. They go back into the diner and I assume they finish eating or whatever, but they're in the bathroom together in the diner and Mark is like, "Hey, we're alone." And they both just kind of like laugh it off because I think at that point in time they're like past the idea of this being just like a fling, right? I mean, they spent the whole night together.
And just tired. Like,
Yes.
like it would just be like, for what? Like, what is the point of this now? And
Mm-hmm.
um, I like how it ends where Mark gives, Gabe his phone number, and then I think you see Mark just like he goes on the subway. Is that how it
Mm-hmm.
ends?
Yes, yes. They're at the top after the diner. They're outside talking. Um, Mark writes his digits on Gabriel's arm and just is like, bye. And it goes off into the subway. And instantly, as soon as he's out of line of sight, Gabriel runs over to the payphone to test that number to see if he was in the same situation as Miss Coco Peru or not. He wasn't. He got a real voicemail when he called and he's skipping and then he's singing his song again.
My favorite part, like I do love the voicemail. It's like, it's Mark, you got me. And I just thought that was really cute. Just because I'm sure Mark is very protective of his time and space. And, I'm sure he's had lots of men want to try to get his number and follow him. And so it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like to have his number, I think, is that you got me. Like, this isn't everyone gets to have this access. So um no, that was for me like just a nice cherry on top of the whole story, where it's like, oh, like Mark is authentic, he is real. It was confirmation of this,
Mm-hmm.
and love is real.
Mm-hmm. Such a sweet moment. Just him skipping off, going right into the chorus,
Right
right?
into the World Trade Center. Is it the World Trade Center the final?
Yes, yes. It's not the final.
Oh, yeah, it's like
it's the establishing shot between the diner and the final scene
okay.
of
So
the
no,
subway.
but
So just so
W
you know, we're in New York and it's 1999 and they're
and
outside and the World Trade Center is.
our WTC girlie makes a cameo in this film too. We love her. So, but yeah, I feel like I should know the cross street that the scene ends on, because that's part of gay history right there. But no, yeah, no, it was just so fun to watch this movie again. Just I had not watched it since, I think, like I bought the DVD, but I don't think I've really watched it since high school. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies that it's like it gets undershadowed, I think, just because it is a rom-com and it's not like, like we live before this movie, we had a lot of sad gay movies. We had Philadelphia, we had, you know, um Boys Don't Cry, we had lots and lots and lots of downbeat movies or campy extremes like Tu Wong Fu, right? Like those are the bubbles that we could live in. Birdcage, Tu Wong Fu, or you're depressed and suicidal
Mm.
or gay, right? And so then you see this movie and it's just kind of its own anomaly of like it's sexual, but it's not too sexual, and it's campy, but it's not too campy, and it's a little sad, but not really that sad. And it just kind of lives in its own space. And I think because it's none of these like things that are like bigger, like in terms of like the genre, like I think it gets forgotten and it shouldn't because it really is a cute movie and it's an easy watch and it's relatable to like literally everyone on the planet has felt the things that these two guys are feeling in that moment. Like
Absolutely. And I think this is, just thinking about media as like time progresses. This is 25 years ago. And so I think this is an example of, say, like something older that will just kind of stick around because it is non-offensive. It is something that like I think would just be like played on like syndicated television, old movies. We're playing old movies from the 2000s and it's Trick, like
Hmm.
people like we have like if you look at what mainstream culture is talking about doing and thinking, like this a movie is not like challenging any of that. It's
No,
it's from a different time, and I think it did a good job of creating an everlasting story that like we can go back to. It's gonna hold beats that are still relevant. It's gonna show us things, and it may not be censored, right? So I think if we're looking at things like, oh, we're gonna censor everything, this could be something that could slide through. Like I'm like, oh, this could be something that
mm-mm,
like if they're gonna start trying to cull our histories, like put this in the safe.
mm-mm.
Like I don't think they'll find it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a huge part of why this podcast exists is just to examine and to remember those things and then to also talk about subtext because I do think you're right. I think unfortunately with the times that we're heading into, we might get less gay stories. Like it's just likely, right? But that doesn't mean we'll actually get less gay stories. We'll just get less overtly gay stories and maybe these small independent films well these no not maybe small independent gay films will still be made because there are gay people who have established careers that are still going to be making films, but there is also going to be a place for watching out for the subtext again and being like, I wonder if they really wanted this character to be gay but they didn't have that, um that ability, like, so I think all of this is important about re-examining the pre-Obama era of of media and how much has
Yeah.
changed since, and unfortunately how we're headed back into a little bit of a slip. But yeah, Trick is a great movie. Y2K scale. Okay, so if we're gonna do where we've been doing Gay2k ratings, when I think about Trick, I think it's like pretty much a 5.5, maybe a 5.4. The shot of the World Trade Center though puts it all the way up there for me in terms of, oh no, this is very much because you're right. Like without that, like other than like they don't talk about social media, this whole thing could happen at any time. It could have been in the 80s that these two guys met and had this whole adventure trying to figure out where they're going to have sex. It could have been, it was, this one was in the 90s, but it could have been in the 20s. It could have been in the
Hmm.
teens. It could have been lots of times. Okay. The trouble's trying to find a place to hook up. Like that's universal. That could literally have been anywhere. There would have been more challenges if it had been in the 50s. There's different
Hmm.
challenges now. Um, and so that almost how universal it is, almost for me, makes it slide back on the Y2K scale. But I do think because it's New York, because the World Trade Centers are there, I'm like, no, this is Y2K for
Okay,
sure.
well here's my take. I thought about this. I'm gonna give it a 4-4. Here's why.
Oh, okay.
So I say 4 for how gay it is because I do think the straight characters for me really were kind of like diverging things and just had a little too much scene time. So that knocks it down to a 4 for me. And the Y2K of it all is that this leans a little more 90s into like the
Mm.
the spectrum if we're looking at, say, what is that? What is that fulcrum? Where do we
Well,
start
and
to
like, yeah, the token character or the big name is Tori Spelling, which isn't necessarily a Y2K big name. It is, but only because of echoes of how big she was in the 90s. So yeah, I get your 4.4 for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like this movie is very 1999. I think the 90s itself, I think we think about it as like it's the end of time. So it's everything was happening and we reached this apex, and then what comes after this apex, I think, is then like part of that Y2K. It's like, oh, like we have a zenith, and then how everything starts to unravel from that. And so this is before that. This is like we're leading up to it, like end of the like it's the end of the gay 90s. Like we are like here, we have stories. Tori Spelling is our queen. Uh, but yeah, I think then like what comes after that is what if it just slided a little more, I would give it a full 5. But it's still like
Yeah.
uh It's
I
leaning
mean,
on the
it's
90s.
yeah. I okay. I like that. I like that. I mean, yeah, because literally, it is. It's like a like anything that happened in the last year of the 1990s, especially if it was filmed in New York, is just like this time capsule. Like it just instantly, like visually, like it's right before film. Like it was released and produced before films that were released in the 2000 era, where they had to start taking the World Trade Center out because of what
Mm.
happened, right? So
Hmm.
that huge, the literal Y2K shift of the Y2K computer reset, which was just a panic moment that resulted in nothing, but everybody was panicked for a moment. And then, later that year in September, what happened, 2000 is like just a huge break culturally, I think. So yeah, you're right. It is very gay 90s. So well, yeah, I think four is good. Four and four makes sense because um yeah, it's like Brokeback Mountain. Like, why am I staring at Anne Hathaway's tits? Like, I thought this was a gay movie.
Yeah,
I
and I
mean, like,
well, no, yeah,
whatever.
and I think yeah, like the I think yeah, the 5-star rating, like it's got to be like so like because part of this is that like this isn't like a movie that's top of mind for everyone. So I think that
Mhm.
it's like these are great. Remember, people, it's okay. Fours, this is great. We love y'all.
Yes.
This
Well, and
is
this rating is on two very specific scales. Do we recommend it? Yes, watch it. Absolutely. And honestly, most of the things that we're going to talk about, I think are it's going to come down to you should watch it, because this whole podcast is for me is about these things that happened that had a cultural impact, and this is how I see them now, and you should go explore them too, right? Like, go watch Trick, make your own opinions. If you hate it, let us know. I don't know why you would hate it, but
and
if for some reason you did, please let Gay2k know. We'd love to.
it's not because of the soundtrack, because that soundtrack is A plus.
Oh, one thing we should mention, so in my Wikipedia exploration of the film Trick, I discovered that in April of 2025, there was a musical that was made and performed in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, no, yeah, because you sent that.
Yeah.
I have not been able to even like.
No, the only thing that I watched was like a trailer, and there are like characters added, like the writing class has a teacher, and like you can see like there are little
Mm.
beats that are different. But yeah, I mean, that's cool that they did that. And then also there was a sequel of some sort in
Oh yeah, it was
2019.
planned.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then like they were just like, this is not happening, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, so Gay2k rating, 4 for Y2K and 4 for gay. Great film. We recommend you watching it, and we're glad that you joined us to talk about it.
Yes, it was a great time. I hope all you dream weavers out there find the trick that you're looking for.
Oh my God, what a great through line. Um, yeah, well, yeah, thanks for joining us today on Gay2K. You can find me at you can find me on TikTok at gay2k.podcast, or on Instagram at gay2kpod. Don't ask me why they're not the same. I came up with them at different times. That's all it is. I could have been more specific. I thank you guys for joining us, and we'll catch you next time on Gay2K.